Good morning. Thank you guys for coming on the last day at 9 o'clock. Appreciate it. My name is Irina Donova. I am a group principal program manager at Microsoft. My team is responsible for devices partner engineering. We work with partners like Plantronics, Logitech, Crestron, and others to co-engineer and certify Teams and Skype for Business devices. And with me today is my colleague Ori. He will introduce himself in a little bit. We will talk about today how to choose, deploy, and manage the right Teams devices. So I'll start a little bit with talking about certified devices and why certified devices matter. Oftentimes, we hear from customers, hey, I have a medium-sized room. What kind of cameras and speakers should I put for good experience? Or we hear, hey, I like to work from a coffee shop, or I have open space. What kind of headset should I pick? So we actually work with the partners and provide them specifications for the different categories of the types of devices based on which specifications they build devices and then they're certified and validated. The validation happens by independent labs, and after the validation happens based on our test plans, these devices are launched and made available as certified devices for best experience with Skype for Business and Teams going forward. Spend a moment to just talk about the different device categories that we work on and what is the differences and what we do for each category. Room systems. Our product offering for room systems is Skype Room System. In a brief, a Skype Room System is a compute which has ingest and a panel or a control console for controlling the meeting experience. This core system can be expanded or scaled for different room sizes, from focus rooms to medium size to large or extra large rooms, based on the audio-video peripherals. What we do is we provide product requirement documents and work very closely with Crestron, with Logitech, with Yealink now, on building the core system, making sure that they build the ingest drivers properly, the ingest hardware, making sure they validate and follow the specs we have for heat anticipation, for CPU usage on the core system. And after that, we provide guidelines around what kind of peripherals, cameras or speakerphones, are suited best based on the size of the room. And I'll show you in a little bit example of how to find that. Oh, pardon me. In phones, for Skype for Business, we have been, for the longest time, having specs, working with Polycom, Yealink, and others, audio codes, on building 3-pip devices. They build the hardware. They provide and build the user experience based on our specs, which include one-touch join, calendar view, send the devices to the lab, have them verified, and then launch them. And in peripherals, similarly, we also have specs for which particularly focus on audio quality. Extremely important because oftentimes we all end up in calls where there is a keyboard typing or somebody's maybe eating chips behind the speaker or there is a wind noise because somebody is in their car. So we actually make sure that these devices take care of that and the experience, there is a crisp audio, crisp video with certified devices. So going forward, this week we announced certification for teams. And let me just briefly talk about what the certification for teams means. All of your Skype for Business certified devices will continue to work. You will continue to have great audio-video experience. With Teams, we're introducing much richer client integration with the Teams client. We will start with things like invocation, notification. In the future, we'll add voice skills and additional integration. I'll step through an example just to show you really quickly and illustrate what invocation notification means. In this case, I have here on the screen a picture of Plantronics Elara 60. This is the first mobile dock station coming up from Plantronics. What it is, it's a speakerphone peripheral, but it has wireless charger. So very often, very useful. Throw it in on the side. It charges wirelessly, has a Qi support. You can adjust how the phone is positioned, if you'd like. It can ship with a headset or with a handset. It has a dial pad. It was in our booth. Unfortunately, I can't say go check it out, but it will be coming soon. So you see also on the picture, there is this purplish button. We call it the Teams button. That button, what it does is, in the case, let's say the user steps away. Irina is in the office, but Irina stepped away from her desk. So in that case, I missed a voice call, for example. If I return to my desk, I'll see that that button is pulsing. So something has happened. If I press the button, what will happen is the Teams app will launch in context, meaning the Teams app will launch in the voicemail tab, and I can right away see the missed voicemail. I can listen to it, or I can even read it, as that's available in Teams. If I have a meeting starting and the button is pulsing, and I press the button, it will launch me into the meeting right away. It will join directly into Teams. It will also show me if I have missed IM messages and launch me into the IM chat. So that's an example of a type of Teams integration that we will be launching with Teams certified devices. We work with partners to deliver devices for all of your working styles and different spaces that you may need. This is just a sample of the types of devices that we have coming up. So for example, in peripherals, you will see an upgraded Jabra 710 Speak, which will have a Teams button, which will provide the same level of integration I just illustrated. You see the Elara 60, and I'm very excited to speak about, for the first time, we're certifying earbuds from Jabra. Super cool for some of us, like myself. I really don't like stuff on my head, so these are very useful. My boss is a huge champion as well. He's sitting over there. Hi, David. But hugely interesting, because you can walk around. I can carry them in my purse. Very, very cool. They're coming up soon. In phones, what is interesting with phones? So with phones, what we will do is we provide the Teams mobile app for the phones. So the native Teams app is running on these devices, which are Android-based devices. So as a user, you have native Teams experience on the phone. You can see you can make phone calls, of course, but you can also access chat and other features going forward directly from your phone. In room systems have been already supporting Teams for a while, launched a few months ago. This week, we announced new room systems from a set of partners. Yealink is a newcomer in the room system space. They have the MVC800, which is pictured here. It's a modular design where the compute is a smaller compute which can be mounted under the table or behind the screen. For a cleaner experience, it has a 7-inch screen control console panel. Crestron is also this week announced their Flex series, which are similarly very modular and can allow for better integration of the devices within the room. Crestron also has a system which supports up to, I believe it was 7 display panels. So you can have a display panel on the wall, and you can have multiple display panels on the table in the case where you have a very large and long table. So these are in a kind of nutshell, the types of devices and categories of devices we have. I'll switch here and show you, this week we also announced the devices marketplace, because often we're asked how to choose and how to know for different working styles and for different spaces how to choose devices. So let me just switch and show you. Office.com/Teams-devices, it's live. This is a website where you can use to browse devices, learn about them, or you can even buy them if you'd like. So let's look at what categories we have. If I go and click on Shop Devices, it launches me in the website. I can see the different device category. I have headsets, have speaker phones, desk phones, room systems. At the very top of the carousel, let's say for the headsets, I see a set of headsets which have been recently certified and they're featured. But say I want to look at all of them. If I look at all of them, on the side you can see I have different types of filters that I can use to select which kind of headset I might need. And it could be based on connectivity. You may want to have wireless or wired. It could be based on the brand. But let me look based on the space in this case. And say I like coffee. I like to spend time in coffee shops. But I also like to listen to music while I'm working. And also be able to make phone calls and join meetings as needed. So these are good examples that can work for that work style and that type of space. Maybe sometimes I like to walk around. Again, I mentioned to you I don't like stuff on my head, but I walk around and need to join a call. So something to walking around the office corridors would be, let's say, some small over-the-neckline type of headsets. So this is with headsets, but let me go back and look at, maybe I need some room systems. We're going to be moving to a new building, so I've been asked to look around what kind of room systems we're going to need for our team rooms. And say, in this case, these are kind of like a small or maybe medium size. Let me look at medium meeting size, meeting rooms. And in this case, these are the example of bundles. So what you see here, we have worked with our partners to actually bundle peripherals and core systems which work best for the different room sizes. What you see here is not yet an exhaustive list. We have about 200 certified devices, and about 100 plus have been listed and more coming up. As devices become certified, they'll get listed on the website. So in these cases, I can click on any device or on any bundle. I can look at the overview. I can look at the specs, and I can buy it if I'm ready to buy it. So this is the devices marketplace. It's available today. Check it out. Office.com Teams devices. With this, I'll turn it over to Ori to talk about how to manage these devices.
Great. Thanks, Irina. So good morning, everybody. My name is Ori Kashi, and my team owns manageability, all up, for Teams and Skype for Business. And so that means everything on the client from configuration, telemetry analytics, and now it means devices, too. And that's really exciting for us because we have this whole new great class of Teams certified devices, and we really want to reduce the pain that admins have to go through to kind of enroll these devices, manage them, keep their inventory of them, make sure they're up to date and behaving well and doing what they're supposed to be doing in your environment. Because what good is a meeting room with an expensive, beautiful piece of hardware from our marketplace if it's offline and your users are having a hard time kind of getting a hold of you, and you don't realize that it's offline until someone complains. So these are the problems that we're trying to solve. We're trying to give kind of this consolidated, transparent and kind of unified vision for management overall. And so that leads us to Teams device management. So a lot of you may have been to sessions throughout the week where we've talked about kind of the Teams Admin Center and kind of the great work that we're doing to do this consolidation and to bring all of the management footprint of Teams as a whole, including client configuration, policies, user management, some of the call analytics and quality insights all into one place. And so, in the not at all too long Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business Admin Center, you have all that. And what's great about bringing devices in there is now the features around device management will sit side by side with all of those. And so you can have kind of this singular workflow to understand not only how my users are behaving, but how my devices are behaving also in my ecosystem, and tie that together with a set of insights that you would also see on your users. So for example, today, use our call analytics features to go and figure out, Irina had a tough meeting and the quality of the audio wasn't great, and you can go and troubleshoot that. Well, you have that same data for meeting rooms as well and devices. And so, tying that workflow together, understanding, Irina was joining this meeting in this meeting room with some other folks that were joining remotely, and being able to tie all that information together and figure out, hey, was it a meeting room issue? Was it a problem with my site and my network over there? Or was it a problem with someone calling in on the other side? And having kind of all of this in one place, it's going to make everyone's life much, much simpler. And so just some highlights that we're talking about. Essentially, this is targeting all Teams first devices. And so as we add more and more of different classes of devices into that portfolio, that's what's, all of that's going to kind of fold under here. And so to start with, we're going to kick it off with all of the desk phones and common area phones that are Android-based, running Teams. You may have seen them in our booth, examples like the Polycom Trio and Yealink and AudioCodes have phones. Also, client experience and the UI all looks the same. And Teams is the primary client there, and so we can give you this wonderful management experience. Additionally, the enrollment is much, much streamlined from what it's been in the past, where you can actually democratize this if you really want to. You can have your users, by virtue of signing into Teams, the device is enrolled. And so you could pre-enroll that, you could pre-provision that, and then just drop it somewhere in your company, either on folks' desks or a common area. Or you could just have someone locally just sign in with the right creds, and we'll show you what that looks like. And poof, it will be enrolled, and it will show up in this inventory and this easy UI to go and manage everything. Additionally, I'll talk a little bit more in depth in a bit. The security compliance aspect of it, we're obviously better with Intune, and so if you do have that, then we'll honor your conditional access policies much as they stand today. And there is, just by virtue of the fact that whether or not you have Intune, the devices themselves, by virtue of being managed, will be more secure and compliant. Additionally, this is going to be the place where all the updates are managed. And so the nice thing here is it's a full stack update. It's not like you're updating clients separately than firmware, separately than OS. This is all of that together. And so you can be sure that your device is fully up to date and you're not going to have strange issues where firmware is out of date, but Teams has been updating regularly and something's going to get out of sync. And so you do have that control. And you do have the granularity to actually say per device when you want that device to update. So if you have certain business hours that make more sense for your organization to say, yeah, I would love for my devices or for the Teams client on my devices not to just update whenever it feels like, but rather to do so when folks are home for the weekend or overnight or different places in different offices in different time zones. All of that is possible, and we very much want to make sure that there's no interruption to kind of the productivity of the rooms that you've invested so heavily in to get these great devices, and that they're online when they need to be, and you don't have a case where someone walks into a room or someone goes to their desk and, oh, I can't actually join this meeting because my device is updating right now. That is absolutely the #1 thing we want to avoid. So a little bit more about the security and compliance aspect of what I was mentioning before. So from the administration side and the management side, you may have heard that we released RBAC finally for Teams, and that's great news. Everyone's really excited about that. We are part of that family, part of this grand unification theory of management for Teams and for M365 overall are these shared components like RBAC. And so that's going to make life so much easier and give you the granularity that you need where you can have designated device administrators to go and do this. Additionally, we're using AAD-based authentication for your users for enrollment. Just like I said, as soon as they enroll, it's making that call to AAD, and that's what's actually going to provision the device in our system and add it to the inventory for device management. And if you have Intune, as I mentioned before, we're going to honor those conditional access policies. So in the same way that you can target devices with Intune today for like a set of Android devices, you could target these devices as well. Essentially under the covers, these are Android devices running our client with just a bit of extra, special sauce on them to get them good for Teams. On-device data encryption, all the communications that occur, anything that's stored in the device, that's all intercepted and encrypted, so you're not going to have anything that's unsecure available. And then, obviously, if you do have Intune available and with kind of the device management in place, you can go and remove and wipe these devices fairly easily and take a bunch of other actions like remote restart, so on and so forth. So here's a first pass kind of at some of the devices that I mentioned before. And so you have the conference room phones and the desk phones. Kind of these are the first set of devices that we're going to be supporting for device management. And once this is released, essentially in the coming months, that's going to just kind of iterate over time. And you're going to see more and more devices. As I mentioned, anything that is a Teams device first is going to be included in the umbrella of what we're talking about. So obviously, we're starting here. We're going to quickly add on the room systems that Irina mentioned because those will also become, Teams devices. So a lot of the UI here you see, it's the old, Skype Blue UI. It's turning purple, just like everything else, and it's going to be those one quick join devices for Teams, and they too will be managed as part of that and appear in that same, single pane of glass with Intune or our device management. So this is a phone, and better yet, this is a phone on Teams. And this is how easy the device enrollment experience is going to be. So you fire up that phone, you click sign in, you go through, and here we wanted to actually just show you web sign in because folks don't really like typing on these tiny little screens. So they generally flip over, get that code, use the company portal to actually go and input that code, sign in, and then provisioning starts. And the user literally does nothing else. There is not another step. Everything will just happen automatically on the phone. It will show them progress. It will do all the magic behind the scenes. The user doesn't need to do anything, or the admin if you want to take that burden away or sign this in for a shared room account or a resource account, something like that. And then boom, the next step is it just logs into Teams. And so by virtue of logging into Teams, you're actually also provisioning this and enrolling this in our device management solution. And so it's one and the same, makes the process so much easier. I didn't want to tempt the demo gods by actually like unboxing a device and putting it right here, but maybe something we'll play with in the future on a longer session. And this is something that we feel is really powerful because in a lot of cases, especially if you're not a giant enterprise and you're a smaller company or medium company, you want to be able to hand these phones out. You want to be able to have storage somewhere where you have boxes and boxes of great phones when you're having this massive expansion and hiring a bunch of employees, and you can literally say, well, here's your phone, happy first day of work, and they just sign in and it works. I mean, that is an ideal situation that we see. And so as soon as I do that, what's going to happen is this device is going to appear in my Managed Devices portal. And so these are screenshots, yes, but these are screenshots of a live product. So this is baked. It's just going through kind of final validation with our friends over in partner engineering to make sure that all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and we have everything buttoned up for shipping this. And so the device is going to appear. The UI should be really familiar. Again, same thing as everything else we do for Teams management in the portal. And then you can take a bunch of actions. So if I highlight the device, I can actually edit the device info. I can go and assign it a friendlier name. I can give it additional asset tag information, things like that. I can go actually and click into the device. For updates, you can see this device had 3 updates available. So this is exactly what I was mentioning before, where you can go ahead and update both the application, if you have the Intune agent available as well, and you're licensed for that, and then the Teams device manager agent, and then firmware as well. So all of that is available to be updated. You kick off that updated, and then the signal will actually push down. It's not something that we're waiting for the device to check in. This is something that we proactively push from our system and kick that process off immediately on the device itself. And so, that update will kick off. It'll complete. I can do things like restart the device as well. That's also an option. If I want to do a remote restart, somebody calls me up. Other options, I can get diagnostics. So, it's a bit sparse here, and we're not going to do a full walkthrough of kind of all the telemetry that we could pull from the device. But I'd like to spend a few minutes just talking about where this is headed. And so right now, if you click that diagnostics button, what's going to happen is it's going to pull from the device and say, hey, give me a dump of all the data you have available for me to go and troubleshoot. So that's really useful if there's something obvious you can do as an admin, restart didn't help, or if you're going to call either the manufacturer or Microsoft to let us know, I'm having an issue, either Teams is not working or the device is misbehaving. Here's all of the information that I pulled off of that device so we can really get to the bottom of what's going on. And where this is headed is not just to say, here's the device's diagnostic information. I mean, you can start to see the hint of it, and it's a little hard to see. Under status, that heartbeat status is something that we're constantly polling to make sure that that device is online. And more, we're going to start populating this with proactive notifications to let you know when key devices go offline or we don't see them for a time. And as when we took this screenshot, when we put this together, this is based on the device was plugged in and functioning appropriately. If I unplug that device, in very short order, this portal updates and goes, hey, I don't see this device anymore. And there's absolutely going to be a period where that's going to be concerning to you as the admin. And so we want to make sure that you get ahead of that problem. You're not waiting for a user to call in and say, hey, this meeting room's been offline for 2 days. Are you guys going to get around to fixing it? This is going to be something that you can go and see in your portal and go, yeah, it seems like something went down on a whole floor of a building I support. And so I need to go and send folks over there to go and troubleshoot and remediate. And besides that information, where we want to head with this is also tying it into the call and meeting quality analytics that we already have today off the Teams client. So very similar pipeline to what we already provide. The nice thing is, today in call analytics, you have a little unhappy face if you're using an unsupported device. So if you're using something from device management, obviously you're not going to have that issue. But there could be a number of other issues. There could be networking related issues. There could be, other conditions that are, other folks on the call that are actually making it, a bad meeting for others. There's always that one guy who's, taking that call from his back porch, didn't feel like coming into work that day on like very faint Wi-Fi, and so everyone gets to suffer from a degraded experience, when he's trying to communicate exactly what's going on to you. And so that information gets woven into, well, one party from that call and one party on that meeting, for example, is going to potentially be using a managed device. And so we can give that full picture now. And that complete like end-to-end story around analytics and quality, that's something we feel is going to be very powerful. So moving on a little bit to the configuration profile. And so this is something that we'll spend a bit of time on. It's essentially, each one of these phones has unique, unique features, and as they come out, they're going to have, specialized hardware that each manufacturer, produces in order to shine and show their own special brand, their own special capabilities. Just because they're all Teams devices doesn't mean that they can't all, stand out in their own way. And so those additional features, those additional capabilities, still need to be configured, still need to be managed. And so the configuration profile is where you go and tackle that. And so here, for example, we have a common set of additional settings, hardware settings that today, you might see on the phone's menu, or you might upload kind of an XML and drop that into the device in order to get those over to the phone. Now, this is by no means kind of the exhaustive list. This is just kind of one snapshot of kind of the common values that we've said most phones had, and we talked to all the manufacturing partners that we're launching with, and this makes sense for all of them. You also will have the ability to upload XML and text files for those features that are kind of uncommon or unique to certain manufacturers. So, for example, I know that Polycom has some features that for certain devices, you could actually upload that in order to access and configure certain specialized features. And so as we launch this out, as we work with all our partners, this will be heavily documented in terms of what you can and cannot configure. But for the most part, we feel like this common set that we've worked closely with our partners for, that should cover most of our customers in most of our scenarios. So you go, you'll set that up, you create that configuration profile. Straight from here, you could actually go and assign it to a bunch of devices, or you can do it on the on the other side and actually click in from the repository of the devices themselves, bulk select, and actually say, yeah, go assign this profile. And so there's a lot of ways to do this. This will continue to be iterated upon. The nice thing is now that it's all kind of one family, one platform, one experience that we're building here, the velocity of improvements is going to really take off after this gets out the door. And so if you're familiar, Modern Portals kind of, and the admin center here is essentially updating every month now. So every month you will see improvements on kind of the look and feel, the flow, features, so on and so forth. So a little bit more about upcoming features. So we're looking at kind of, this is more of a direction that we're going in over the next couple of quarters. I want to make sure that folks think, hey, we're not stopping with just what we're releasing in this first round. These are additional capabilities that we're also going to be adding. And so things like streamlining device account management and room creation, we know that's painful. We know that's a pain point folks have, having to jump between the M365 central portal. There's some PowerShell you have to run in order to provision those rooms and then jump over into the management experience. We want to make sure that it's very transparent, very easy to kind of navigate the end-to-end flow there. Additionally, both hierarchical zone management and device grouping, one obviously by location, another more kind of along the lines of what you do with security groups. We want to bring that to devices as well. No one wants to click through a list of every single individual device. In the same way, they don't want to do that for users. So it makes a lot of sense to us to allow you as administrators to go and actually enforce your own organization model, whether it's by building and location or geo, or by some other grouping that you may have. You want to do it by make and model or age of the device or however you want to do it. We want to give you that flexibility in order to make sure you can manage devices the way that makes sense to you. Activity scheduling. So this is actually something that's coming soon. So today, you can go and essentially tell the device when to go and kick off an action. A feature that's coming actually very soon is the ability to schedule that in advance and say, yep, I want the firmware update to occur at 11 p.m. Eastern time for this set of devices, and just kind of queue that up on the backlog. That'll kick off automatically and then just give you kind of a confirmation later on once it's completed. And so each of the devices, you couldn't see it too well, they actually have a device history log, and so we have this kind of audit trail of all the actions that the device was asked to do, and then the status upon completion. Whether it succeeded or failed, you'll have that kind of audit trail of what's going on and who asked it to do what. As I mentioned, additional telemetry and insights, weaving that in with kind of the call and meeting quality models and everything else. That's something that we're going to heavily invest in, especially the proactive nature of that. So the more that we can turn this into a push model where we're actually reaching out to you when it makes sense, rather than you having to come to the admin console to check constantly to see what's going on. That's where we want to be. We don't want to have to handcuff you to our administration experience. We want to only kind of pull you in when there's an action you need to do, and there's something that we need to make you aware of. And then finally, having kind of rule-based automatic updates. That's something that we're exploring a little farther out. But for folks that just want to set up criteria when a device would automatically update and have that work based on some conditional rule creation, that's something that we've heard as a loud feature ask as well. So it's something that we have in the backlog and we'll be investing in too. So I wanted to make sure that we left a bunch of time for questions. So thanks so much. We're really excited about device management. Thanks, Irita, and we're both going to be answering your questions. Fire away. Thank you.
Hello. A question. Your device management will be available only for the Teams phone or also for the Skype for Business certified phones?
So it's only for Team certified phones because it's actually coupled in with the client as well. But the good news is there is a path forward to update some of the phones. And so working with the manufacturer of those phones, you'll get notified if that's an option for certain models if you have already purchased that previously.
Okay.
On this I use.
Will you be treating Surface Hubs in the same category as being able to be managed?
That is on the roadmap.
You mentioned in order to administer the phone comes up with an ID. Does the unit have to be direct connected or on the same network or just a remote network I can remote access in to do it?
So all that has to happen is that the phone needs to be online and logged in essentially via Teams. And so if you are in a location that can log into Teams via the web, that phone can be detected by our network because it's actually going through that same AAD login process.
Okay, so it just must be, okay.
Do you have any plans to have something like a REST API so that we can tie this information into a broader AV management system? Today we are completely dark in our broader AV management system for all of our Skype rooms, Surface Hubs, everything.
Absolutely. We've heard that loud and clear, not just from our customers, but from our partners as well. It's definitely something that we'll be investing in the coming year.
Okay, and then second question, I didn't see it on the list of things to come. Are you going to allow us to manage the background images on things like Surface Hubs and Skype Room systems through the remote? Because right now we do custom background images for every location with a picture of the city, make it nice, and it requires an admin to physically go to every single device, log in as an admin, upload a file and an XML, put it in the right place. It's a real pain. It's something that would be very valuable.
Yeah, heard loud and clear. I'll make sure that feedback gets back to the Surface Hub team that we work with. There's no reason that
Do it for
shouldn't
Skype
behave.
Room systems too.
Sure. I mean, any room system essentially. If the room system's capable of it, we should be able to add that in. So we'll take a look at that.
Thanks.
Yep.
So I'm in a situation where we may be implementing hoteling in a facility. Is there going to be the ability to have a person have to log in every morning, a potentially different person log into that phone every morning and have that be their phone for the day, and then after a set amount of time having it log that person out of that phone automatically?
Sure. So you're essentially asking about the timeout for when it would actually, kick you out. Anytime someone logs into that phone, that is their phone for the day. So that part of the equation is fine. I think the automatic timeout where they don't, manually sign out of Teams, that's something that I would have to double check if that's already available as part of one of the configuration settings. But I can get back to you on that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And is there any concept like a common area phone with?
Absolutely, and so that's one of the things that obviously is the first scenarios that we're supporting. And so today, if you essentially provision I hate to say it, I think it's called like a disabled user account, or it's a resource account essentially in O365. That's the common area phone account, user account, because it doesn't need essentially all the bells and whistles that a normal user account needs. And then with that user account, you can actually go and log into the phone and just leave that in your common area.
Would that need a license?
It's a different one, yeah.
But there is a specific, I don't have to give it like an E1 with void.
No.
No, there is a license for common area phones.
Okay.
But
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Availability of the device management in the GCC tenants.
It is coming as well. It is something we are working on. It will likely be a fast follow. We're working out the kinks right now.
With the Teams procurement section you have within the website now where we could go and purchase, so how does that work? Is there a limit where Microsoft will apply to? So is it purely SMB, or is there anything that like providers who currently provide handsets and headsets to people? Do we need to be concerned?
The way the fulfillment is done is if you click on the buy button, it actually transfers you to our fulfillment partner, Unified Communications. So currently it works through Unified Communications. It will just transfer you there, and you can purchase as many as you need.
And then they can choose which partner they want to buy through?
Yeah, going forward.
Great. Any other questions? No? Well, I want to thank everyone for making it out here Friday morning. We really appreciate it. And definitely, check out the features they roll out. We'll be making a lot of noise about them as they become available, both on the new devices certified in the marketplace, as well as on the management side. We didn't throw up a slide on additional sessions to go to, because there's really not that many you could still go to. But there's a lot of great content online, and we hope you had a really great Ignite week. Thank you so much.
Use certified devices
Yes.
for your calls and meetings.
Please
you.
use certified devices. Thank you.